Welcome to CNTV. I'm Brad Clonch.
And I'm Quin Tran. February is American Heart Month.
We take this time to raise awareness about heart disease. It's the leading cause of death in the United States. A heart-healthy lifestyle can help reduce the risk of heart disease. Here are some tips. Get enough quality sleep. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night. Eat better. Choose heart-healthy snacks like nuts and seeds and avoid processed foods. Get moving. Adults should spend at least 150 minutes a week doing physical exercise. That's 2.5 hours a week. Exercise or take a walk. Just move.
Know your numbers. Check your blood pressure, cholesterol, and blood sugar. These are areas that can be screened at your annual exam. So schedule that checkup. Manage stress. Do meditation and relaxation techniques that help calm the mind and body. And stop smoking. Smoking damages your heart and blood vessels. Talk with your healthcare provider about programs that can help you quit. Join a support group or call this number 1-800-QUIT-NOW for additional support.
Do at least one positive action for your heart health each day. For more information on ways you can improve your heart health, visit HeartTruth.gov.
His victory and decided to go hunting.
February is I Love to Read Month, a time to encourage reading and exploring books. The Chickasaw Press offers wonderful publications for all ages. Established in 2006, the Chickasaw Press offers books that feature the tribe's history and culture. The Chickasaw Press has 2 other imprints. White Dog Press further shares the experiences of the Chickasaw people through creative genres that include historical fiction, children, and young adult literature. Leaning Pole Press gives Chickasaw citizens an opportunity to publish works that encompass a variety of genres and subjects beyond Chickasaw historical and cultural experiences.
This trailer features one of the latest Chickasaw Press books. The novel is titled Undrowned, written by Chickasaw author Gina DiDesidero.
The ancient ones rose from the underworld.
Gina joins us to tell us more about her new book. Thanks for being with us, Gina.
Thanks, Quinn. I'm happy to be here.
Gina, the trailer to this book is very dramatic. It's vivid. It really sets the stage for this story. Tell us about this book. What is it about?
So Undrowned is inspired by traditional Chickasaw stories like the King of the Tie Snakes. It is basically an enemies to friends story about 2 characters, Jasper and Harissa, who are born to enemy clans, and they have to work together to escape their fates. And during the course of the story, they have to really investigate their own false beliefs about each other and in order to overcome these biases. The world of Undrowned is, I've called it Terra meaning earth. And I did quite a bit of research to create Terra because I wanted it to seem like it had a global context to it that was authentic. So I considered things like rain shadows and the way that the tides might turn during a storm. I considered the elevation, and I created these patterns that I thought maybe I was creating someplace unique on Earth when I pinpointed where I wanted this to be on the globe.
Just to give a little bit about your background, you are connecting with us from Florida, where you and your family, including 3 children, live now in Florida. You were raised in Washington State, earned degrees that include biological sciences. You were a high school biology teacher. We all need writers. Great writers. How did writing come to be for you?
My family and I lived in Kwajalein, which is in the Marshall Islands. It's very isolated. It is actually, Kwajalein Island is home to the Reagan Test Site, which is the world's most isolated Army garrison. And we had no vehicle. We were riding bikes for 6 years. That was the primary mode of transportation. So when we left Kwajalein to Saudi Arabia for the first time, we had a family vehicle. A couple of problems instantly presented themselves in that my son would become violently motion sick in the car within 2 minutes of going anywhere. And the second problem being that my kids were not accustomed to being strapped into chairs next to each other, and so they would fight. I found a remedy in storytelling. And for 2 years, when we got into the car, we were going anywhere for more than 3 minutes away, I would begin telling a story, and my son's eyes would just pop up and follow the horizon, and my daughters would fall quiet. And I enjoyed this. I enjoyed the togetherness that this created, and I enjoyed that I could instill values in my children through storytelling.
You've published now your first novel. That's so exciting.
Yes, I am very grateful to Chickasaw Press for taking a chance on Undrowned. I was worried that there might not be room at the table for fantasy, especially as it relates to our traditional storytelling, because I am with everybody else that our storytelling is sacred. And it is my desire that readers of Undrowned might seek out the source origin stories and discover how Undrowned is similar and the ways that it departs.
Your new novel takes us on a journey, I feel like. And you've had quite a journey yourself in your life. You've visited or been in more than 24 countries, lived a couple of years overseas, and even served in the Peace Corps.
I served in Central America in Belize. I lived with my husband just 4 miles outside the Coxcomb Basin, which is home to the world's most populated jaguar community. We served the village community there in Trio Village in Sand Creek District, and I worked as an environmental studies educator. It was a very interesting experience. They say Peace Corps is the hardest job you'll ever love. And that is where I fell in love with community and cultures, different languages, and the way that land shapes our culture. I found that so interesting that we worked with Maya Kachi and Maya Mopen Indigenous people, as well as mestizos in our village. So I had so many neighbors that approached things very differently. And we were living right at the junction between the Mayan parts of the village and the mestizo parts of the village. And I would do language classes with my Mopan gentleman who would teach me a little bit of Spanish, and I would teach him English.
How have you connected with your Chickasaw heritage? What does it mean to you to be Chickasaw living today?
To me, I feel that respect is my first layer of what it is to be Chickasaw. I have a great deal of respect for my elders, for the many people in my life that I see as mentors and teachers and parents, and for really all people. I have a great deal of respect for all living things, plants and animals. I mentioned my background in ecology and environmental studies. I see the connectedness in the way that how one biome affects another. I feel like that is one of my deepest connections to my heritage, but I found a connection that I feel is more personal through storytelling. And storytelling, in the context of storytelling, I was able to see myself in the stories. And I think discovering all of these different stories and the different lessons that it teaches to me is how I've found myself ingrained in my cultural heritage.
Undrowned is available as a hardcover book or ebook at ChickasawPress.com.
The Chickasaw Nation supports early reading for children. The Chickasaw Reading Program sends a monthly delivery of books to Chickasaw children. Little ones receive one book per month until they reach their 5th birthday. Sign up for the program by going to the tribe's website or call this number for the Chickasaw Reading Program. The tribe began the program in 2006, partnering with Dolly Parton Imagination Library, which provides the books.
More than 7,300 books have been delivered to 573 Chickasaw children inside the Chickasaw Nation boundaries and at large.
Again, this program is for babies from birth up to age 5.
In an upcoming episode of CNTV, we'll feature another wonderful program that gets books in the hands of children at every checkup.
Reading to children makes a big impact. Well, we've enjoyed spending time with you.
Join us again next time for another edition of CNTV.